This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt stuck, whether it's a major life transition, a dark night of the soul, or just staying small out of fear. If you've ever struggled to move forward, if you're repeating unhealthy patterns in relationships, or you have a black belt in beating yourself up, you were meant for more, and this podcast is for you. We'll get real, we'll get vulnerable, we'll probably cuss a little bit, and we'll get to the root of it all, your self-worth. With every step, you'll find the courage to rise. Today is Valentine's Day here in the United States, and I'm reminded of how important it is to be cognizant of the meaning that we make of things. Because, like most of you, probably, I have been single for many Valentine's Days. I have been in partnership for many Valentine's Days. And it all boils down to the meaning that we make of it. And too often I see people, and I used to be one of these people myself, who will take a day that, frankly, was created and expanded as a Hallmark holiday, which is great because I love Hallmark. I love Hallmark movies, but I'm digressing, which is created and perpetuated as a Hallmark holiday. By that I mean, it's an occasion to sell cards, sell gifts, sell all manner of things, and yes, to celebrate love. And I agree that there should be a time and a place to celebrate love. I actually think that day should be every day, and that we should be celebrating love for ourselves as much as love for others. Right now, my cat's celebrating love with me, and you can hear him in the background. We're not going to edit that out because you guys know that's how I roll. But it's good to have a time to pause and reflect on something, and that's sometimes what a holiday is for. However, too often in the past, and like I said, I have absolutely done this myself, we use something like Valentine's Day as a reason to make a meaning about where we are in our life, that we are single, or that we're with a partner and our partner didn't do enough for us, or that we're with a partner and it just wasn't what we thought it was going to be. And here's the thing. Something like Valentine's Day is a wonderful thing to celebrate if it feels good for you and if it feels good for your partner. And the truth is, you don't actually have to have someone in your life romantically to celebrate that day. I have had years where I have used that as a reason to celebrate the ever-loving fuck out of myself. And I have bought myself amazing gifts, and I have bought myself flowers, and I have treated myself to an incredible dinner because I am showing the universe how I wanted to be treated, and I'm treating myself that way. And I have years, or I've had years, I should say, where I've been with a partner who has celebrated me and vice versa. And that's been wonderful as well. And I have also had Valentine's Days where I felt sad and I used it as a reason to beat myself up for not being where I wanted to be in relationship. And here's what it comes down to. It's just a day. It is just a day. And it's an extension of what I say about everything is the meaning that we place on it. Events happen. Things happen, things transpire. It comes down to the meaning that we make of it, the meaning that we apply to it. And sometimes we can apply a meaning to things in life that brings us more suffering than it does good. This is the part that we have control over, and we don't realize that we have this control. Because it's okay to admit that perhaps this is a day that prompts you to think, wow, I wish I had a partner in my life. Or, wow, I wish I had a different partner in my life. Or I wish I had a different type of relationship. Or I wish I had a relationship. It's okay for these things to catalyze your desires within you. But what we want to watch is using a day like Valentine's Day, for instance, as an excuse or a reason to apply a certain meaning to what's happening in our life. Because it's very easy to use a day like that and apply a meaning that we're alone, that we're not with the partner we want to be with, that we're not with a partner. And then it starts to spin down a rabbit hole of shit of I'm always going to be alone. I'm never going to find a partner. This is how things are always going to be. I'm unlucky in love. There are no good men or women out there, and on and on and on. And all of those are disempowering stories and unhelpful, disempowering beliefs that sometimes we unconsciously condition within ourselves. So, on this Valentine's Day, I want to use this as an opportunity to remind you that we get to choose the meaning that we place on everything in our life. And so if you find yourself applying a painful meaning to a day, any day, could be Christmas even, any day, but in this case we're using Valentine's Day. And if you find yourself applying a painful meaning to it, choose a different meaning. This is within your power. There is so much in this world that is completely and utterly outside of our control, but what we can control is the meaning that we apply to things. And so if you find yourself single on Valentine's Day, or if you find yourself in a relationship that you realize is not the one that you would like to be in, watch the meaning that you apply to it, and instead choose to see this as motivation for what you want instead, and choose to see it as an opportunity to apply a different meaning to what this day is all about. Because the other side of the coin is sometimes when we are not where we want to be yet being the operative word, when we're not where we want to be yet in life, we sometimes apply a meaning that everyone else is already there. And it's easy to look around and see all these happy couples going out for Valentine's Day. Tra-la-la, they're so happy. I'm single and I'm miserable. Here's the thing. Just because somebody is in a couple, just because somebody is in a relationship, it doesn't mean that their relationship is healthy. It doesn't mean that their relationship is happy. Now, I want to be very clear. I am by no means doom casting. There are a lot of very happy couples and very happy relationships out there. But there are also a lot of people that are in relationships just for the sake of being in one because they're scared or afraid or uncomfortable with being single for a while. And so I want to remind you that just because someone has a relationship, a romantic relationship, doesn't necessarily mean it's a happy one. And you owe it to yourself to stay single until you find a relationship that really truly fulfills you. And in those years or months, however long it may be, that you are single, use that as a time to get to know yourself better and to trust that the right relationship is coming. That's what that time is for. It's sacred time for you to get to know yourself. And this is really what it means to get to love yourself and to get to know yourself on a new level and to trust that that relationship that you so desire truly is on its way to you, even if right now you can't see it. Because the truth is it could happen at any moment and at any second, and you never know. But your part in all of this is to take care of yourself, is to heal yourself, and to focus on what it is that you want and to trust and believe that it's on the way to you, even if you can't see it right now. And watch those moments where you're making meaning out of something and look at how you can apply a different meaning to it, as opposed to having it be a reason for you to feel bad about yourself or to feel sad or to feel hopeless. And once you are in a relationship, I want to remind you that Valentine's Day is just one day out of the year. And if you need one calendar holiday for you and your partner to remind each other how much you mean to each other, the other 364 days of that relationship might need a better look. And remember that you and your partner get to decide what feels good for you for that particular holiday. And the truth is that a successful, lasting, loving relationship doesn't just celebrate that love on Valentine's Day. It celebrates that every single day of the year in little tiny ways that add up to the big ways that add up to a healthy, happy, loving, lasting relationship. So the message behind all of this on this Valentine's Day is not to apply more meaning to one day than it needs to have. It is just 24 hours, and we have another 24 hours tomorrow where you will be invited to apply your own meaning to that as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Courage to Rise podcast. Visit my website, couragetorise.com, for more information on one-on-one coaching, group coaching programs, and other upcoming events. Remember, life's too short not to sparkle. Sparkle on.